Sometimes I think I got to have swamp water in my veins. I like to drive around Dixie with my windows down when it rains. I like to cruise around the Delta, long and flat. I'm a natural son of a hillbilly cat. I like to park out on the levee and watch them slow-moving trains. I ride the Main Street line and I make my departure at Beale. I find me some backbeat gal in a primer gray Oldsmobile. Lays around Memphis in the afternoon, hear the blues spill out the door of B.B. King's saloon. If you ain't never been there, you just can't know how it feels to take your breakfast into below midnight supper down in New Orleans. It's every fair-haired, blue-eyed blues boy's waking dream. Oh, sweet magnolia, wrought iron and rust, black candles and goofer dust, and Creole women with skin like coffee and cream. Everybody's got an explanation for the soul that saturates this land, but there's so many things everybody don't understand. It ain't carried on the river, it wasn't left here by no flood. All this land was bought and fertilized in blood, with the blood of Mother Africa, hot and red and strong. Oh, and all the rebel soldier boys, so young and brave and wrong. Now I wake up in the morning with a head full of down-home blues. Oh, from Savannah to Houston, I can hear them anywhere I choose. Well, you don't need a broker, a beamer, or a plan if you're living in the land where the blues began. Go open your window and tell everybody the news. Oh, yeah. Go open your window and tell everybody the news. Thank you very much. I'm going back to Memphis, I think, in January. Well, I wrote this song, actually. I like Memphis. There's neighborhoods you don't want to be in after 4 o'clock, sure, but you know, it's a very cool town. I like, even though Beale Street has become this sort of great blues theme park where the obnoxious youth of the South go to get drunk. At least they're getting drunk listening to the blues. I like going to Beale Street. I like going to the River Cafe, because the River City Cafe, the guy that Isaac Hayes modeled Chef on South Park, is the cook at the River City Cafe. You can get Chef to cook your catfish. Like standing going, well, you know, children. It's too cool. So I was down there a few years ago, and actually I was opening a show for Robert Jr. Lockwood, so it's been a while, because Robert's been gone for a while. But Robert was always a hero of mine, and the guy started the conversation in exactly the wrong way. I picked up the phone, he goes, hi, I'm blah 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 from the blah 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 festival, and I don't have a lot of money. And right then you hold the phone out here, and he said, but I got a gig for you on a full moon night in Memphis on Beale Street. And the phone is slowly creeping its way back closer. You be opening for Robert Jr. Lockwood, and the phone's going. And so I went down. At that point, I didn't tell him, but I'd have paid to do the gig, you know, open for Lockwood on it. Robert Jr. Lockwood was Robert Johnson's stepson. He's the only guy Robert Johnson taught anything to. And him and Sonny Boy Williamson were the King Biscuit entertainers, the first blues players on radio. And then Robert moved to Chicago and was the studio guy on it. I don't know if you ever liked any Chess records, like Sonny Boy,
yeah.
Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf stuff, until Buddy Guy moved to town, Mr. Robert was the main studio guy at Chess. And he was totally one of my friends and heroes, you know. So anyway, I got down there and I got hanging out with an old friend of mine, and really having fun. And she had this line. At one point she was trying to explain why some people like cool music and some don't. She said, there's downbeat girls and there's backbeat girls. And I'm a backbeat girl. And I thought, God, that should be in a song. You know, everybody says, that should be in a song, and half that shit shouldn't. But that one, that's a song. You know. So the next day, while piloting her piece of shit car across the Mississippi Bridge, because she lives in Memphis, but she's scared of heights, and it's a city on bluffs. Everywhere you go, except down toward Parchman's farm in Mississippi, you're crossing great big high bridges. But anyway, I'm driving her beat-up old car across the bridge into Arkansas, into West Memphis on the Arkansas side, so we could go eat at Earl's Hot Biscuit Cafe. If you're ever in Memphis, you got to do it. Just take the Mississippi Bridge, and there's a row of truck stop restaurants on the left-hand side, and one of them, great big neon in the sky, says Earl's Hot Biscuit Cafe. And they have biscuits the size of your head with cream gravy, red-eye gravy, or sausage gravy. They have sweet potato pone or corn pone, and they have, and they got like 5 kinds of greens. They got like beet greens, spinach greens, collard greens, mustard greens, and something else. And I mean, it's amazing. It is truly the best soul food you'll ever get. And lunch with iced tea, well, unsweetened iced tea, because we're talking the South here. But it will cost you a grand total of about $5. And it's truly, just don't tell your doctor what you ate when you got it. So anyway, we're driving Denise's messed up old pile of shit Oldsmobile across the bridge the next day. And the song began to take shape. So this is for Denise. I was going to say wherever she is, but I know where she is. But it's like 10 o'clock here. She's closing up some joint on Beale Street right now. Just after having dinner at Tom's Cozy Barbecue, as featured on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives.